Well, it feels like it's been forever, but we are back again. Liquidate all assets with Guru, Daryl Johnson, and Dibs, Dan Dibley. And Goo, pretty soon you're going to be able to find us in more places than just here on the StreamYard in Liquidate All Assets.
They have a team in the nation's capital. They call them the Nationals, and that's what you and I will be going. But I'll let you take the honors and let them, I appreciate it, and let the people know where they can catch us.
Yep, coming up April 12th, Sunday bets 9-1 on the Odyssey app, odyssey.com. Get the app, get it now. The BetQL network, it'll be a Sunday morning show with your boy Guru and Dan Dibley. We're going national, kid. We're going to do the same kind of thing, but on a national platform, talking about bets, fun bets, winning bets, losing bets, bad beats, chicken, liquidating. Guru's Gripes, I think, is going to make a debut. So
I
we're going to do all kinds of things on this show.
And don't let me forget tomorrow on Crosstalk to tell the local listeners. I'm sure you'll remind me so we can let them know too. But I'm ready to go. Episode
I love it.
40. No athlete, Earl Stevens and his wine, E40, because there's only 140. So how about that? There you go.
Shot him out pretty good. It feels like a bit of a cop out. You could have gone to Mad Bum, Mad Bum, Rocket 40, and also William Floyd.
He was on my mind.
Yeah. So all respect though to E40. No one loves E-Feezy like we do. It is Liquidate All Assets with Guru and Dibs, and it's brought to you as always by Livermore Casino, the Tri-Valley's place to play, 2571 First Street, in 3571 First Street today in downtown Livermore. Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's place to play. Please play responsibly. Goo, before we get to the big events coming up, the finals, plural, for the men's and the women's, let's talk NBA tonight. Our Golden State Warriors taking on the Phoenix Suns. Warriors at home, still no Steph, and Phoenix favored by only 4.5. What do you think about tonight's game?
You know what? I don't like the spread at all. Phoenix, we know, has been consistent even without Chris Paul, and all of a sudden the Warriors have stepped on a grenade, a landmine, and they don't know where their defense is at. And I'm worried about Draymond and that back. So I believe what I'm watching is real, and hopefully I'm wrong. But, Dibs, I'm going to go under. And when I say under, the Warriors' offense to me against good teams is I don't have confidence. So right now I see it at under 234. I'm going under 234. I think it might be 108, 110, and that'll catch that ticket. So I'm going to take the under tonight because offensively the Warriors kind of it goes and comes. And I think Phoenix will play that stifling defense, so I'm going to go under 234. What do you think about that?
234, it seems like a pretty sensible play. The only thing that scares me about that is the fact that the Golden State Warriors have been awful on defense. They've not been a team to really play the kind of defense we're used to from the first half of the season. Draymond Green feels and seems to be a little bit more limited defensively than offensively. Klay Thompson, not the same lockdown defender. You don't have rim protection. And let's give Phoenix its flowers, as you like to say, Goo. They're going to be a rare team that wins more than 65 games. I think that Phoenix is a team on a mission. And also, by the way, they know that the Warriors have won 2 of 3 this year. They want to even the score. I like a motivated Phoenix team tonight on the road. The over-under scares me because of the Warriors' defense, but I will take the visiting Suns. I think 4.5 is a bargain. This feels like it's going to be my Salvation Army pick of the night because it's a bargain, baby.
I'm going to give you a 3. I like that reason. And Dibs, that was my second pick, was taking Phoenix. Okay. But I get you on the intel about the Warriors defensively, but like Stoney said today, he expects, and I don't know if it's come to this in Dub Nation, but a great effort. So I'm hoping emotionally that'll lead to better defense. We'll see, but I do like that Phoenix minus 4.5.
Suns 23-13 against the spread on the road this year. And Goo, you know that they're closing in on the best road record in the history of the association, which they would have to run the table. They'd have to beat the Warriors in San Francisco and then run the table, and then they would beat the Warriors' record for best road record in the history of the league.
I mean, just think about what you said, and I heard the uptick. That's incredible. But don't forget Chris Paul. And you want to talk about redemption or revenge? I'm going Kevin Costner. You know what the Warriors have been to him. He doesn't give a damn who's not playing. They lost the finals. I said, oh, it's because everybody and their mom got injured on the Lakers and all this other stuff. But you are right. They've been a model of consistency. I think he's coming in with bad intentions, and I think other teams see the Warriors in flux or waiting for people right now, and they're taking advantage of that, Dibs.
Warriors, by the way, have failed to cover the spread in 6 of their last 7. They are 20-16-2 against the spread at home, but they've lost their last 3 by at least 8 points and by an average of 16 a game. So the Warriors right now are on my public enemy list. Can't trust them because it's a little scary. So I'm going to fade the Warriors. One more from the association, Goo, before we focus on ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, which is my favorite, and you know that. The Heat and the Celtics, a little bit of a Wednesday. Who do you like?
You know what? I like the Celtics, and I know they just lost Robert Williams, but it looks like they'll be getting him back for the playoffs. I just was very turned off with the Coach Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler and Haslam. Almost reminded me of Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Wow,
but, thank you. It felt like a 5. I didn't even know where I was going with that one. But
that was very good. It was timely. Yeah. It was real. It was fresh in the mind.
But I think Boston, they've earned the flowers that people are giving them, and they're turning heads. And I think something's up with Miami. And I know Miami beats Sacramento, but who doesn't right now? So I'm taking the Celtics to cover on this first TNT game tonight.
It is 5.5. The Celtics are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. The Heats, by the way, plural. Thank you, E-Dogs.
I love you.
He knows I'm like Ron Burgundy. If it's in the copy, I'm just going to damn read it.
There you go.
Well, they're unsightly. They're 2-8 against the spread in that span over their last 10. And by the way, Miami 3-3 when they're getting 5 to 7 points.
Wow.
Whereas the Celtics are 12-6 when they lay that number. So the trends might tell you that it would be the Heat, and 5.5 might be the risky side. Boston at home, the first of 2 on TNT. Goo, one more look before we turn to the amateurs NBA futures odds. Phoenix 3-1, Brooklyn 6-1, Milwaukee 6.5-1. The Warriors now the 4th choice at 7-1. Is there value in the Warriors at 7-1 to win it all?
You know what? I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm going to say no is there's something the Warriors cannot change about themselves at this juncture, or any of us at any point in our life, if you wanted to be taller.
Damn,
you cannot change your size right now. And the Robert Parrish is now walking through that door. The Will Chamberlain.
Go, Brian.
They keep going. And Brian
Andres Biedrins.
Yeah. So that scares me about the Warriors. But what stuck out to the teams you just mentioned is Brooklyn 6-1. And I know Ben Simmons is not available, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit. But when you got Kyrie and Kevin Durant, I think you got action. So I'd put something a little down on that 6-1 because that is enticing.
Philadelphia is 8-1. Boston at 11-1. How about the feisty, we broke Steph, Boston Celtics able to make a defense matters run through the East?
You know what? It's a great story. And like my sock game, the Celtics match. They don't got 3 or 4 or one thing, Dibs. They got bigs. They got, a little bit of everything. And that's how you got to have success. You can't be too top heavy with 3 or one thing. And that's why I like the Celtics. But this Williams injury, they say, I guess real quick, we'll go doctor with you. He already had a shaved meniscus.
Oh, yeah.
So him tearing it kind of helped him being able to come back sooner. And I'm like, oh, wow, unlike Wiseman, which was, that hurt us.
And thank you, Brian Nagel. Shout out Deer Park Villa, the great restaurant in Fairfax, home of many bank. One of my high school reunions was there. Great food. Try the veal, Park Villa in Fairfax.
I would give you a 4. You're on fire.
And a clean out for the people in sales. so that we can
Yeah.
pay this forward. It is Liquidate All Assets, our real sponsor, the great people at Livermore Casino in downtown Livermore. Get in on the action at Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's only poker destination, offering also blackjack, 3-card poker, baccarat, no player collection. Enjoy their 24-hour gaming floor, full bar and restaurant with indoor and outdoor patios. Watch all your favorite games at Livermore Casino, open 7 days a week. 3571 First Street in downtown Livermore. Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's place to play. Please play responsibly. Goo, if I say ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, what do you think of?
The ACC and the fact that we got two heavyweights and rivals that have never met on this stage. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. I can't wait, man. I know some people get tired like it's the Yankees, Red Sox, but North Carolina and Duke, I'll never get tired. And if you want to make an argument, Dibs, or anybody out there, that this could be the best rivalry in sports and they're from the same area, talk to me.
It's up there, and, to have a meet in this phase, it's kind of like the Giants-Dodgers meeting for the first time in the playoffs, longtime rivals, neighbors, like you said, Hatfield, McCoy and Hatfield, however you want to size it up. But to meet in this moment in any year would be huge, but let alone in this year, the last year of Coach K. The only thing would make this more special would be if Roy Williams is still on the sideline. Yeah. God forbid if Dean Smith, rest in peace, were still with us. If those two Titans were going head-to-head, but it's Coach K. Either he the ultimate rival in the penultimate or second to ultimate spot, or he goes out on the sword of the Tar Heels in Tar Heel blue.
Which would make it, and I can't speak for him, but Dibs, I mean, how much sweet, I'll go Kool-Aid, how much sweeter would that be, the fact that you did it against those people? Like, I feel like that Coach K got out of San Francisco in the fashion that he did, that he's almost, and I got to slow my roll and I don't want to jinx him, it's almost like destiny. Do you get that? Well, I'll find out when you do your pick, but I'm getting that feeling, like something else is, a greater power is at play.
Well, you think about greater powers, but then you think about a certain that's called reality. And I take you back to Coach K's last home game at Cameron Indoor. 60 former players. He was feted. He was celebrated. What happened, Goo? North Carolina came in and they tapped that continent.
Yeah, but that was then, though. Yeah, but you're right.
Tell me how you feel about Carolina right now.
They're a great story. I like them. They're long. They're athletic. But I'll say this.
You know what they are? They're hot.
Okay.
They beat number 1 Baylor.
You're right.
Last weekend they played St. Peter's, right? Oh, it's Cinderella.
You won that before the ball was tipped. But
you did, but Kentucky, what happened to those other won it before the ball was tipped. Carolina went out there and they never gave St. Peter's even the slightest glimpse of hey, yeah. So don't sleep on Carolina. The spread is 4. And by the way, I'm officially going to take Carolina and the 4. I think it's going to be a close game. Duke has all the emotion, but Carolina is playing great right now. I'm taking the 4. I think it might be a 1-possession game either way. Give me Carolina and give me the 4.
You know what? I like that. And I do, and I'm rooting for Coach K, but I like the over in this. There's thoroughbreds on both sides, and Duke is 7-1. Their games have gone over in their last 8 games, Dibs. So I'm thinking Carolina, they're going to be running. So is Duke. So right now it's at 151? I like the over, 151.5. I'm taking the over in this track meet.
That's a big number, 151 for college.
Especially with this ball, Dibs. Steiny is the greatest because I didn't voice it. I didn't tell anybody, but I don't know if you've been watching this whole tournament. Something's been off like an eyesore, and it looks like they're playing with an ABA ball. Like you got a triple rim, like you outside, you got to be perfect. But these two teams have kind of got their groove. So I feel like I'm going on a limb with that. You're right. It's a big number. but give me what, 75, well, 75 and 76, and then I'll be good at half. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, Goo, I think overtime rather is in play in this game. So
No, that's a good call.
If I was going to bet a side, I would look for the over because, Carolina does not play great defense. They play a little bit loose. They like to set up the big kid, Brady Manick, for the 3-ball. And Duke, they can flat out play with anybody now. And they're starting to feel confident, and they do have that sort of intangible on their side. So that's going to be an interesting one. But Goo, the other semifinals, not one to overlook. You got Blue Bloods and Blue Bloods. Villanova and Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk is laying 4.5 with an over-under 132.5. What do you think about the first semifinal?
I'm taking one of the best-looking coaches in college basketball history, and Jay Wright. He looks like the policeman from Foxy Brown, the movie Foxy Brown with Pam Grier, the detective. Who was he? Help me out. But they're long. They're strong, and they're coached well. I like Kansas. They got athletes, but this is what I've learned. This costs, Dibs. In this tournament, you always talk about the number being too big or whatnot. 4.5, that's a big number in a game like this. It's going to be hard and physical, so I'm taking Villanova plus 4.5.
Wow, Nova plus the 4.5. It's going to be that sort of a rock fight, which is an expression that I love when it comes to talking about basketball, especially college basketball. And because of that, Goo, I'm going to go under 62.
I like that.
In the first half. I've been betting a lot of first half unders in Villanova games. Villanova is ranked number 345 in the country in tempo, KenPom, according to Ken Pomeroy, KenPom.com. So they're going to try to really play the game very, very slowly. Kansas, by the way, is 61 in tempo. KenPom, one of the more up-tempo teams. They're very good on defense, and they're very good on offense. Villanova, the same. Elite on offense, elite on defense. I think that Villanova and Jay Wright, the patience and the confidence in the way they like to play, I really think they'll be able to inflict their style on Kansas, at least for the first half. So I'm going to go under 62, which is a small number, in the first half.
Well, no, I like that, Dibs, and I'll say this about Kansas. Not that they even care or know about these stats, but, they're hit and miss, and I guess you could say that for every team, but 2-2 in their last 4 tournament games against the spread. So, if I think I'm going to get that Villanova type defense, that stingy defense, I like the fact that I'm taking them with the points because I don't see Kansas just putting up a bunch of points.
Underdogs, by the way, so far in the tournament, and thank you, E-Dog, Evan Giddings, a great producer for the Nugget. Underdogs are 34-25 against the spread so far in this tournament. That's a very good percentage for the dogs. Guru likes the dog in Villanova. I like the under first half at 62. Goo, are we an equal opportunity show, yes or no?
Yes.
So we got to talk about the ladies. Oh, the ladies.
I've been watching everything, man. They've been balling.
No doubt. I've been loving the women's NCAA basketball tournament. We gave you South Carolina in an absolute lock in the Elite Eight. And, Goo, I'm going to give it to you again in the national semifinal. South Carolina -8.5. So much athleticism. Louisville, a nice run to get over Michigan in the Elite Eight. I think the run comes to an end. I think South Carolina is the most deep team. It's the best team when you talk about 1 through 10 and overall uncomfortability. They can press you. They can lock you down. They can score from every spot. I think South Carolina beats Louisville in somewhat of a laugher.
You know what? I am with you, Dan Dibley, and I'll say this, and you could apply it to every team, but I feel like Louisville is lucky just to still be playing because they've been had a couple times and they win Houdini. But the one lesson I've learned watching these girls play in this tournament is the under is your friend. And I'm going under 119 because I think this is going to be a hard-pressed game. And like you said, it could be a laugher, but Louisville won't do its part, the Lady Cardinals. So I'm going to go under 119 on this contest.
Yeah, I mean that's a small number. And remember, in women's college basketball, they play 4 quarters,
10.
which
Yeah.
allows you to get into the bonus a little bit more quickly at times because 5 fouls in a quarter can get you to the foul line. But Guru, like in the
What do you think of the 10-minute quarter, Dibs? Any problem or not?
no, I like it.
Okay.
I like it, especially for women's basketball and what they're trying to do. It speeds up the game in that you don't have a lot of long possessions where they're going to try to bleed the clock
Okay.
out.
All right.
You get to that first media timeout quickly, and pretty soon you get under a minute, under 2 minutes, and the tempo naturally is going to go faster because there's end of quarter urgency. And you want to, if there's a minute 40 to go and there's 5 possessions left, you want the 3 and you want them to have the 2.
Okay.
So it gets into a certain amount of urgency earlier, which creates more action and less downtime.
That's interesting because I'm watching these games, and when the teams get off to a bad start or they're down, I'm like, you ain't got 48 minutes. So you're right. I'm creating my own urgency just by watching it, my viewing pleasure. Like, this thing is close to being over. You better turn it on.
Yeah, you get to the fourth quarter, and unless you have a good shooting team, it's really hard for them to come back because by and large, these teams at this stage of the women's game, they're so fundamentally sound, they're not going to make a lot of mistakes to allow you to get an easy 3 or a transition 3. It's a little bit harder at the women's game to come back from 12 down with 8 minutes left.
No doubt. Great point, man. I cannot wait. And now we get to the big game.
Man, I mean, it's a legacy game, really. It's Tara against Gino. It's UConn against Stanford. And, the more I think about Gino Auriemma and, his run at UConn and Coach K's retiring, I can't help but think that, Gino might be near or at the end. And,
Wow.
Tara Vanderveer, she seems so timeless. And
remember, we talked to her last year. You and Steiny. Yeah,
we did when she was a champ, and she talked about her team, and largely it's a lot of that same team back. But even Tara herself has said this year's team is a little bit more of a surprise. And UConn's got a gal named Paige Beckers.
Oh, I'm familiar. I watched it. They could have lost that game, Dibs. I mean, they were lucky, but still, I'm like, I saw a vision of UConn losing.
Yeah.
So I know they're like, we're on our 9th life, but
what changed? What changed? Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers.
Oh, no, she's awesome.
Off the dribble. I mean, she hit about 5 or 6 in a row. And I think that with Gino, I'm not saying it's his last dance, but I can't help but feel he's closer to the end than the beginning. UConn's getting 1.5 points, I believe.
Yeah.
I bet it on the parlay earlier this week, and I bet it at Pick'em. I regret it. I thought the line would have continued going their way, but if you could take UConn at 1.5 points, I say you take it.
Wow, Dibs, I'm on the other side, so we'll go head-to-head because
head-to-head.
Again, watching UConn get down, I got to give credit to other teams out there and Stanford too, because every time Stanford's played, they had a big number to try to cover. I think they did it a couple games ago. Last week it went down to the wire, but I feel like I've seen the formula for UConn to lose, and I think we see Stanford go Drake back-to-back, and it's minus 105, minus 1.5, so I'm going to take that. A bucket gets you the win. I'm going with the Cardinal.
I love it, Goo. Goo's going with the Cardinal.
And this is Friday, right? Friday night. Yeah.
It used to be a Sunday, Monday schedule, but I actually like it better Friday, Sunday. That way the ladies get, center stage beforehand. Okay. Although I'll just tell you real quick about my time in Atlanta. I went to the Final Four way back in the day, and you go to the Saturday games. It's a doubleheader, and I happen to be in a hotel right in downtown Atlanta. Not a lot going on, by the way, in downtown Atlanta. Yeah, Buckhead, but that's not in downtown.
Yeah, all right.
You go to the games on Saturday, and then Sunday you got nothing. And your boy may have been feeling a little under the weather. So, I had a couple of tickets to scalp for the Monday championship game. So I went out and handled my business, came back and sat in the bed and just watched the women's Final Four and thought, this is so perfect. On Sunday, get 2 games, because you're in between the Saturday.
Yeah, and you got your chicken.
Yeah, exactly. But now
more chicken. Yeah.
I do like it on Friday. That way it's, the ladies Final Four, the men, the ladies final, then the men final, one shining moment, and we're done.
I love it. I love it, Dibs. And that's why you're right. Give them their moment. Nothing will be on Friday. Here we go.
Goo, let's talk about baseball real quick. Major
I
League
love it.
Baseball. We got some futures odds. The Dodgers are 5-1. The Astros and the Mets at 10-1. What do you think about the Mets being alongside Houston at 10-1?
It's a cute story, but they don't got nowhere near enough to me to be able to take it from the Dodgers. Astros too, and they lost a couple players. So this is the Dodgers World Series to lose. And when you look at Robert's tenure in totality, he smoked off a couple, and I think they make up for it. But with what they've added, and now you talk about Freeman, I wasn't even thinking about him. I got lineup envy. I just think it's the Dodgers World Series to win. And I'm going to go here. We could talk about the structure of baseball, but it's just terrible, Dibs, that you got teams like the Pirates or the A's right here in our backyard. And then you got teams like this in Nordstrom's or Saks and Goldman just spending money like this. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, apparently our producer, Evan E-Dog, hates it too because I'm looking for your Pirates on the sheet. And he listed 27 teams on the Google spreadsheet, but your Pirates aren't on there, Goo.
Evan, I'm mad at you. I'll take you up with you tomorrow, man. But that's just sadness. The truth, though.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out who else.
And I'm going to order the package and watch them every night, Dibs, like I do the Giants.
Respect. Yeah, I'm seeing 27 teams, and I'm trying to figure out the 3 that aren't. The Pirates for sure.
The D-backs.
The D-backs are not on here. Yeah.
Mariners.
The Mariners are on here. Yeah.
Guardians.
The Guardians are on here. Yeah. Oh, now E-Dog is texting me. Pirates, Orioles, and D-backs.
That is. How could I forget Orioles? Wow,
that's
man.
So funny.
That is, yeah.
By the way, Giants are 25-1. What do you think about in Farhan and Gabe we trust at 25-1?
I'll say this, and I'll act like these injuries before opening day aren't a big deal. Nobody and their mom knew the Giants were going to win 107. It won't take 107. But if what I believe in regard to coaching and chemistry, if 90% of what the Giants did last year was real, they still got some of that in the bottle, I would put something down on that. Again, I don't expect it, but they did it with a bunch of no-names and reclamation projects last year, so why can't that happen this year? I know it's no Buster Posey, but you still got Belt, Crawford, and Longo when he comes back. I'll never understand why he didn't have the surgery last season, but we'll talk about that later. But, hey, I'll throw something down on it.
Okay, I love it. A little bit of Giants love, and other than that, you start getting into some really crazy long shots. If you believe in Bomel with the Padres, 16-1. The Braves defending champions at 12-1. So still some pretty good prices out there if you're so inclined.
No doubt. And I'm looking at Atlanta. I'm like, oh, that caught my eye. But then they lost Freeman. Not that he's, irreplaceable, but I think they'll take a step back.
It is Liquidate All Assets with Guru and Dibs, brought to you by Livermore Casino, the Tri-Valley's place to play. Game day special, Sunday 10 to 8, Monday and Thursday from 5 to 9. Get a hot dog for $2.50, chili dog and extra buck, domestic draft beers for $2.50. Imports and well cocktails are only $4 at Livermore Casino, First Street in downtown Livermore. Goo, I know we have the Warriors tonight, but we also have a quartet of soccer matches. Huge. Are you ready for some soccer locks?
Football. Yes, I am.
I love it. The USA has already qualified for the World Cup unless they lose 6-0 in Costa Rica, which is not going to happen. The USA, though, is one of 8 teams in action tonight in the CONCACAF final qualifying. Goo.
I like this, Dibs.
So we're going to go with the USA minus a half a goal at Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica needs to win and win big in order to get one of the 3 automatic. That's not going to happen. They would have to beat the USA 6-0. The U.S. is going to play conservative, but the U.S. is still better than Costa Rica. Even if Costa Rica loses, they're going to qualify for the World Cup playoff against New Zealand. So I think the USA breaks their spirit early. We're taking the USA minus a half a goal.
I like that, Dibs. And what time does that start?
6:05, Goo.
Okay. I love it. I'm ready. I like that.
We're going to go on the three-way line for the Honduras-Jamaica game. This is seventh place against eighth place. Neither country is going anywhere in qualifying. This one's about pride, and it's in Jamaica. We're going to root for the home team on the three-way line, which means if they tie, we lose. Jamaica plus 115 against Honduras.
I love it. All right. I'm ready.
Another game that's starting at 6:05. It's El Salvador against El Tri, which, as you know, is Mexico. This game is in Mexico, and Mexico has already qualified for the World Cup, unless, as I mentioned, Costa Rica performs some miracle. But Mexico is about one thing, if one thing at all, and that is pride. We're going to take Mexico and lay 2 goals at home against El Salvador.
I love that, Dibs. I'm writing them down, getting them in.
The final game of 4, all starting at 6:05, is another one that has no meaning. It's Canada taking on Panama, and they are on the road at Panama, which, as you know, Goo, not an easy place to play. Panama is 5th in the group. They cannot qualify in any circumstance, but Canada is already through. Going to Panama and looking for a result, they don't need a result. What they need is survival. We're going under 2 goals, Canada at Panama.
I like that. The under defense. Give me defense. But the USA is in, Dibs. That was very attractive. I like all 3, but the USA was Halle Berry for me.
I love it. So we're USA minus a half a goal, Jamaica on the three-way line, Mexico giving 2 goals and under 2.5, Canada and Panama.
Hey, do they play simultaneously, those games, or they all kick off the same time?
Yes, all 4 will be kicking off at the exact same time. That way, you know, if there's any shenanigans like, oh, if they lose and we tie, we go through. That way, if they lose, you don't play for a tie. Everybody plays at the same time. That way you kind of take the shenanigans out of it.
I love it, Dibs. Let's get this chicken.
Let's do one more next week, Goo, and we can talk about the Masters, my favorite event.
I'm ready, and let me leave you with this one because I know a lot of people are mad. One NBA one, 21 points plus 200 for K-Wig. I think he's going to break out tonight, but plus 200 for 21 points, and I know he'll get 15, 16. So that's my bonus NBA pick. Andrew Wiggins, Deion Sanders, 21 points plus 200, Dibs.
I love it. Good luck with that one.
Okay, and I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you.
All right.